I love Haughton because anywhere you go, there's always a helping hand around.
I love Haughton High School because it's become our home away from home.
I love Haughton High School because I truly believe it's the heart of our community, and our students are so spirited and excited in showing their support for the Buccaneers.
I love Haughton because all of my friends are here.
I love Haughton for the Friday night football games.
The reason I love Haughton is because of the way the community comes together on Friday nights to watch us play football.
Went to school at Haughton, and it's just in my blood. I love Haughton.
I love Haughton because of the people. It's just a family environment. The people are so great, and it's just a great place to be and a great place to grow up.
What do I love about growing up in Haughton, Louisiana? The friendships were genuine, people treat you like family, and I was a high stepper, which is where I began my martial arts career.
It's like a small town on the edge of the city, and so everybody kind of knows each other and has connections to other people, and everybody has good family values, so it's a nice place to be.
What made Haughton special to me was the friends.
Well, I've actually only lived in the town of Haughton for about 13 years, but I've been teaching at this school in this area since 1982, so that's a long time. The very first time I came to Haughton High School, and there was no stands at the stadium. Mr. Hensley called out the events, not using a microphone, but just yelling them out, going, 440-yard relay! And that stadium, that same track is the one we have now. And now we have all those stands that will hold enough people for a 5A school. Most of you don't know that I'm called Bucky's mama. I am the creator of the original Bucky. I took some fishing boots for his boots. I took some punching bag, some boxing gloves for his hands, and I made his head out of a football helmet. And the other reason why I'm called Bucky's mama is because when Maggie Gunn was a little girl, she used to scream every time she saw me, scream and cry, and I didn't understand why. And then one day, when I was working, Coach Gunn and Maggie were driving by. He said, "There's Miss Turner," and Maggie said, "No, that's Bucky's mama." And she was always afraid of me because I could have a baby that looked like Bucky.
My name is Peggy Anderson. I have been the owner of the Gingerbread House for a number of years. We've lived in Haughton since 1981. I opened the Gingerbread House, this location, in 1994 and have been here ever since. One of my trademarks over the years has been this little tiny rabbit that I make ahead of time. I make hundreds of them, and I place one somewhere on the little house. And so that makes a game for the children to find the little white rabbit. Let's find him. There he is down inside there.
My name is Carlton Anderson. I've been mayor since 2009. I bought a business in 1981. And prior to that, I served on the council. I love all the people in Haughton, and I like meeting people, and I like helping people. And that's my favorite thing in Haughton, is serving the people in Haughton.
Since we've lived in Haughton, I think the thing that's changed the most is the growth in the community. Like we have 4 Mexican restaurants, we have a fitness center, and we have a little dress shop that's really cool. Even though our little community has grown a lot, it seems like it still has that small town feeling. Like when you go in the stores, everybody still knows you, like they know you by your first name. I think the most interesting thing in Haughton, what I thought of was we have a museum. We have a wildlife museum, and I don't know if a lot of people know about that, but it's pretty interesting.
I'm Kaylee Harlan Freeman. I've lived in Haughton all my life. I taught school for 33 years out here, and that's about all there is to know about.
I was born and raised here. I came home from the hospital to this house that we're sitting in right now, so 55 years. I did live in Bossier for a little while, but since I was teaching out here, it was kind of like I really never left. I think Haughton's a nice community just because of the people that are in it, and I think the school systems, of course I'm a little biased towards that, but I think the school systems make it a good community that we just have the one school system that kind of flow into each other.
I'm Nell Harlan. My husband was principal of Haughton High School for 30-something years. It was right after my husband and I got married. He was coaching football at that time. A lot of the ball games would be, it was pouring down rain and their uniforms were so dirty. And they didn't have washing machines up at the school and all. So we brought the football uniforms home and washed them and put them out up on the stands up at the school, on the weekends to dry. The community just pulls together with all the school activities and all. They back the kids and the football games. We have big crowds. If it's the band or pep squad or whatever does good, they are all for them. This is a wonderful place to live and raise a family.
I think that when you walk through dark days that God sends people to walk with you. And in our case, He sent us an entire community. It's a community that hurt for us and cried with us, and then they rallied around us when we needed them to. And it just felt like that Haughton made remembering Lawson a priority. And I can remember leaving his service and seeing all the signs of support along the way to the cemetery. And they wear necklaces around their necks with his name on them. They drive around with LB20 stickers stuck on their cars. They named ballpark after him, and which led to a scholarship in his name. And people work really hard to be named that. And you wouldn't believe the work of so many people that go into the tournament that supports that scholarship. So when I think about Haughton and that community, I'm glad to be a part of it. I love it. I'm grateful for it and for everybody that continues to remember our lesson.
I lived here all my life. I grew up here. My family was from here, and I never thought about leaving. Just one time when my husband went out to play professional football, but I think we was at home more than we was in Kansas City. We was just up there football season time, and when it was over, we couldn't wait to get back home. So. My name is Carolyn Delaney. I know a lot of you know my husband, the late Joe Delaney, that drowned back in 1983 while trying to save some kids from the park. I just want everybody to know that, you know, he was a real good person, not only a good football player, you know, he was a good man. Then we got married, we had 3 wonderful kids, and he was proud of Haughton. He just loved it, Haughton. When he left Haughton, we went to Kansas City, he would always tell the guys that there's no place like home. Hey man, when football season over with, I can't wait to get back home, you know, to my small town where everybody know everybody. You know, you can go around the corner and speak to everybody by name. They knew you. The community was just real wonderful when Joe passed away. It wasn't just like they came by to visit just right after his death. They was coming back like week after week, bringing food by, making sure me and the girls was okay, asking did we need any kind of help in any kind of way at all. They just pulled together for me, and it made me feel real good to know that I had not just my family, but the whole town of Haughton was on my side and ready to step in to help take care of me and the girls, just like Joe was home, still taking care of us.
He had a near fatal heart attack. Wow, it's kind of our community. They met every single need that we had. We didn't have to ask for anything. They just met our needs, every one of them, and then and a whole lot more. I was just in here in Coach Ewan's office trying to do my interview, and I looked over and I saw this card that some of the kids who went to the hospital, and it's the most precious thing to us. They prayed for Coach, and they prayed for our family. I just don't know what we would have done without those prayers. After everything that's happened since this heart attack, there's just like no way we could leave this community. It's our family.
Meagan Nesbit, head football coach, Haughton High School from 2000 to 2015. I've been teaching here 32 years. It's a very close-knit community. They tend to help people out. They did when I was sick. You know, the community came together and did a lot of things for our family, and they've done other people the same way. The whole community kind of surrounds the family and takes care of them, and that's a neat thing about living here.
Okay, what's your favorite memory?
In 2010, we played at Parkway in the biggest football game the parish has had in years and years. 7,000–8,000 people there, and both teams undefeated, and we won the game for the district championship. So probably the highlight of my 32 years.